Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Irani and I'm thrilled to guide you through this session. Whether you are a new TaroWorks user or a seasoned pro, today's webinar will provide valuable insights to enhance your operations and maximize TaroWorks potential. For those joining us for the first time, TaroWorks is an offline service app that helps Salesforce users in remote areas to collect and analyze field data in real time. It tracks field agents and enables business operations like supply chain logistics, sales, maintenance, and case management. Here's what we will cover today. In this session, we outline best practices for creating and managing forms and jobs. We provide recommendations for effective setup and usage, highlight potential risk of not adhering to these best practices, and showcase each example. These insights aim to ensure smooth operations, reduce errors, and improve data integrity across the system. Best practices on form design, best practices on job design, and at the end of the presentation, we are going to have a space for all your questions. Best practices on form design. A TaroWorks form is used in collect data task where the TaroWorks mobile user provides information. In this first part, we are going to present best practices for each of the features from the forms. Form settings, label, and description. Best practice. When creating a TaroWorks form, we recommend adding a clear label and a detailed description. This helps the form's maintenance and provide a good experience for future administrators. Danger of not following. Without proper labels and descriptions, forms may confuse the end users, misinterpretations, or inefficient workflows. In this demo, we are going to use Aquacom, or fictitious company that delivers water filters. As part of their process, mobile users register websites and create new members on them. So here we have an example of forms. And here we can see how we have an alias for this form and a description. This is helpful for future administrators to see on what this form was used. Question builder, number of questions and sections. Best practice, keep your forms short for a better user experience. Divide data collection into manageable sections and use multiple forms if necessary. Maintain your forms with less than 300 questions. The danger of not following, there will be syncing errors for your agents in the field, slow performance in Salesforce and devices, and potential form limits when updating your forms. Here, to demo this in Salesforce, we need to go to our forms. I'm going to show you now a website members registration form. And how in the question builder, you can add sections to divide the information. Here, for example, we have a full section where the website information, and then we have other section for the website member information. How does this look in the mobile user experience? Here I have an emulator. You can see here TaroWorks app, the jobs I have assigned. And you can see here, I have a full section for the website information. And my next page is the website member information. This is also helpful for the user experience. Logic, hiding sections. Best practice, hide entire sections of a form based on predefined conditions. Danger of not following, failing to implement conditional visibility can overwhelm agents, increase cognitive load for field officers, complicate training, and lead to inaccuracies in data collection, particularly for complex workflows. How do we do this in Salesforce? Oh, sorry, here we have our form. We have the logic section for a form. And in each section, we can choose to edit, to show, or hide the section. If you are getting all the information from the section from Salesforce and you don't want your mobile users input information or change information from that, you can choose to hide the section. Okay, let's move to the next best practice. Field mapping, using unique ID values. Best practice, use auto numbers or unique external IDs. The danger of not following, failure to use unique identifiers can result in syncing errors, such as mismatches or incorrect record associations. How can I show you this? In Salesforce, we can go to the object manager and choose the website object to see how this ID is an auto number. This means it's generated by Salesforce. And here in our form, in the field mapping, we can see how the ID field is the one number. And it's going to be placed in the second question. Remember, you can ask your questions in the chat in case you have some, and we will answer them. Next, we're moving to manage multiple form versions. When you edit a published form and make changes to it, you create a form version that needs to be published and mapped to a job. In the Forms Manager, you can see how many versions of a form you have with its responses. The best practice here is to synchronize updates. Ensure all field agents have completed and synced their devices. Then, publish the form so they get the latest versions. Danger of not following. Outdated versions on the field devices can lead to data integrity issues. Lack of version tracking makes resolving errors or reverting to previous versions difficult, increasing the risk of operational disruptions. Here in Salesforce, how can you spot the form versions? You need to go to the response code of the form. And here you can jump between versions. There's a possibility that you, as an admin, added more questions in each version. So that's why it's very important for the mobile users to get the latest version. Okay. Darrell, is there any questions over here?
Yes, thank you, Rani. We have one question. We have less than 300 questions in the form, but we get Salesforce limit errors. What could be the cause for these errors? Yeah, sure. You'll hit Salesforce limit errors, even though you have less than 300 questions on the form in some cases. This could be because you're using the questions of the type single select, multi-select, or you're using the scoring feature or the logic feature in your form. And these are many, like many questions of single select type or multi-select type, or many scoring parameters and logics in your form. So these would contribute to the complexity of the form. And if you have more than 100 questions in your form that are of these types and these other features, then those will contribute towards hitting the Salesforce limits. So we recommend that if you're using these different types of questions, especially the single select, multi-select, and in addition, you have the scoring and the logic. Please try to keep the questions to the minimum. Don't go too much on them. I hope that answers your questions. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rani. You can continue.
Thank you, Darrell. So we're going to the next topic, which is best practices on job design. A job is a task or a series of related tasks for a mobile user to complete. A unit of work to be completed by a mobile user. Job settings, instructions. Best practice, add a label and clear instructions for your agents in the field. Danger of not following. Without labels and instructions, jobs may confuse end users, leading to errors. Here, we're going right to the Jobs tab. We're going to take a look at one of our forms, clicking on Preview. And here you can see the instructions added to the job. You can add whatever you want to. You have a big box for this. And how does this look in the mobile user experience? So here we have our two jobs. And the mobile user has the options to click on instructions or start job. So the instruction is here. and he can begin completing the job. Design a logical drill-down hierarchy. Drill-down hierarchy filters the data that the mobile user can use from Salesforce for a particular job. Best practice: to ensure consistency, begin your hierarchy with the same level as the mobile record assignment. Use meaningful drill-down hierarchy names to communicate the purpose to mobile users. For example, select a region, then select a well site. This helps the mobile user understand which records they are working with. The danger of not following this: failing to align the drill-down hierarchy with the mobile record assignment will lead to no records found message because of the consistent starting points between drill-down hierarchy and mobile record assignment. Now we shall demonstrate this in our Salesforce instance. Let me go to the jobs. In this job, for example, we have the name, the instructions, and we have the name of the drill-down hierarchy, sharing an action for the mobile user to be done. We're starting this drill-down hierarchy by the region, and then we're having the well site. To go deeper in this explanation, I'm going to show you the schema builder. This is how the data is built in Salesforce. And here we have the region at the top level of this hierarchy. Then we have the well site. And at the end, we have a well site member. So when you go to the mobile user, you can see the mobile record assignment is at the top level of the data model design. Okay. How does this look in the mobile user experience? Here we have our emulator or job. And the mobile user can see which object they are working with. They are supposed to select a well site. They can see the region they can work with, and then choose the well site. Filter drill-down hierarchies. Best practice: optimize drill-down views. Use filters to limit the records displayed, ensuring mobile users see only the most relevant options. Add additional levels to narrow down selections and avoid overwhelming users. It also helps restricting access to records. improving data access efficiency to mobile users. Danger of not following this: displaying all assigned records without filters may overwhelm users, increasing cognitive loads and slowing down operations. In Salesforce, we can see the filters in our drill-down hierarchy. At the end of this line, we have the option to add or edit filters. We choose the object, the operator, can be equals, contains, does not contain, or does not equal. And you can choose a specific region where the mobile user is working, maybe. And save. How does this look in the mobile user experience? Here we have our job. And he only has one option on region and one option on website. Our next best practice is pre-populate form responses. Best practice: utilize the tile fields from the drill-down hierarchy to pre-populate form responses. This helps reduce manual input errors and speeds up data entry, especially for repeating tasks. Danger of not following: not pre-populating form responses may lead to inaccurate data entry, requiring more time and effort from the user and increasing the risk of mistakes. To show you how this works in Salesforce, once you are in your job, let's go to task. Normally, you have mapped a form for a task and you need to edit the task. And here, you can choose to complete the information on the questions from your form, selecting the object, the field from that object, and the question to be populated. How pre-populated questions looks in the mobile user experience. We have our job. And here we have our first two questions, and they are already populated by us. The website ID and the website name. Other good practice is using folders. Make use of the TaroWorks folders feature, which allows you to create folders that you can organize into jobs folders and forms folders. Best practice, use the folder feature in TaroWorks to organize and easily navigate a high volume of jobs in Salesforce. Danger of not following, without proper organization, navigating a large number of jobs in the Jobs tab can become cumbersome, leading to inefficiencies and potential errors in managing tasks. Let me show you how folders look like in TaroWorks. You can choose to create as many folders as you want. And you're going to have type folders, folders for forms and folders from jobs. And this is a good way to organize your work. Also, here in the job search, we have the option to view particular folders. Also in forms. Other good practice is testing your jobs. Test new jobs before deploying them to production. This reduces the likelihood of errors impacting live data. Create a test mobile user to test your jobs before sharing them with your mobile users. The danger of not following this, without proper testing, issues such as incorrect job configurations, data loss, or system crashes may occur, disrupting operations and leading to costly mistakes. Here, for example, we use the emulator with a test user to test at first our jobs. Then, when we make sure everything is working fine, we share them or assign them to mobile users or groups of mobile users. Okay, that concludes the main part of today's webinar. Now let's dive into your questions. Feel free to drop them by the chat or raise your hand in case you want to ask them live.
Yeah, thank you, Irani. We have another question. And this question goes, can we have a drill down hierarchy without setting up a mobile record assignment? So the answer to this is you'll need a mobile record assignment for you to be able to use the drill down hierarchy. The mobile record assignment feature allows you to specify the object and the data or the records that the mobile user will have access to on their mobile devices. So without setting up the mobile record assignment, if you set up a drill down hierarchy, then the mobile user will get the no records found message on their mobile devices. So it is important to set up the mobile record assignment. And as Irani said, the level of the mobile record assignment has to go hand in hand with the levels in the drill down hierarchy. Yes, please feel free to chat your questions in the chat box or raise your hand and we'll unmute you and you can ask your questions. We have a question from Aliu. Do we get a recording of this session? Yes. So a recording of this session will be shared on our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to get it from there. And just to add that our YouTube channel has got all the recordings of our past deep dive sessions. So you'll get other very nice videos on our YouTube channel that you can make reference to. I hope that answers your questions, Aliu. Right, we are still taking questions. Okay, just as we wrap up, I would like to thank you very much for joining us for this deep dive on best practices in TaroWorks. We hope you are leaving with actionable insights to improve your workflows and field operations. Remember, additional resources are available in our TaroWorks support page. And if you have more questions, feel free to contact us through our support site by logging a ticket.